This episode is brought to you by us and our merchandise. Uh,
I love the intro.
Great intro.
Please continue, though. Please tell me more about us.
Well, I know for my stuff, you can buy it at Krenslot.com, of course. Sweatpants that I'm wearing right now. We got mugs. And that's all we got, actually. It's 2 items, but really, it's all you need. Unless you want a shirt.
A shirt!
A shirt.
Or a hoodie. Or a mug.
Oh.
Or pants. Anything.
Oh.
Anything you want, guys, on the Nixxiom Corner Store. Actually, fun fact, something I've been working on today a little bit. I'm actually, it's on my whiteboard. 3 new designs for the Nixxiom Corner Store. And I've got some ideas. No spoilers, but I got some ideas. And maybe next week and next week's episode, I can be like, hey, you guys, new stuff. Check it out. Why not?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, right?
That would be cool.
But yeah, man, episode sponsored by us. Greatest sponsors in the world. Love it. How you doing today, Crendor?
Hey, I'm doing pretty all right, honestly. I went to the gym. We went to the mall. I ate a sandwich. My dad came over, asked me to fix his phone. Great time.
You know how to fix phones?
It wasn't really broken. He just didn't know how to do a thing.
Okay. It's like my mom. She still doesn't know how to email.
Yeah, he's just like, nah, it's telling me it wants updates. What's that mean? I'm like, well, it means you got to update the phone. And he's like, nah, why do I got to update it? I already paid for it.
Better not steal my credit card information.
I was like, yeah. So today, we're going to talk about classic World of Warcraft.
Yes, it's been requested.
Yeah, it's been requested. I don't think we've talked about it since like it came out.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've talked about WoW in general, but people in some of the previous episodes in the comment sections, we're reading, guys. They were like, "Hey, it's cool you're talking about writing and stuff. That's great, love it. But let's talk about some games." And that there were some of you guys saying like, "Hey, I kind of like these like non-gaming related yet still nerdy podcasts." But we gotta appease all the audiences or all the audience guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
You gotta please everybody, but you can't please everybody at the same time. But you gotta try a little bit.
Man, I could please everybody at the same time.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, Anyway, but yeah, dude, we're gonna talk about classic WoW. We're gonna talk about like our experiences playing classic WoW since it came out. I guess I should apologize that this episode's coming out a day late, but that's my fault this time. Actually, I think was it my fault last time?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't remember. I have people coming to stay with me in like less than 2 weeks, and so it's like a mad dash right now to like clean out closets, make space for them so they can hang up clothes, put stuff up in the attic, and just get everything ready because they're gonna be living with me for 3 months, like 2 guys from Europe. So I got a lot to do. There's just a lot going on. Like goodness gracious. So I'm like, Crendor, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a day late, but we're getting it done. It's coming out on Tuesday, but next week, guys, Monday, EST noon.
Yeah,
be there.
Yeah. Or B square.
That's right.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? B square.
B square.
Yeah.
It means you got like like you want to be edgy in your life, and like the square is like the ultimate edge because you get like 4 like 90-degree angles. And dude, I don't know if you've ever been like attacked by a wild 90-degree angle before, but dude, it's vicious.
I can imagine.
Yeah, never dude. Like remember like ninjas? They would like throw 90-degree angles at people and like kill people with them.
Oh shit. That's why they keep them secret now.
That's right. Yeah, man. We gotta talk about classic though.
Oh yeah, classic. So
yes. We'll talk about ninjas later.
Yeah. How much classic WoW have you? Well, how much did you play at the start, and how much are you playing now?
All right. So my classic WoW testimony is very, very simple. So classic WoW came out, and it was a bit tricky because I really wanted to play classic WoW, but because I was trying to stream classic and play it, and I was also trying to like do all my YouTube stuff. As well as like other projects in the background at the time, blah blah blah. Like there was just lots going on during that time in my life. I didn't get as much time to play it as I wanted to. I was still playing it a lot though. Like heaven forbid. enough to like it would make my mom and dad uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. But what ended up happening is I fell a little bit behind people in Classic as I streamed it. It got to a point where like Alliance weenies were like about 6 or 7 levels ahead of me. And so it sort of ended up being kind of a gank fest. I remember one of my last Classic WoW streams, not recently, this was months ago. I like the first hour and a half of the stream was me just being ganked. And I'm not complaining. I mean, it just kind of comes with the job. I mean, like, whatever, who cares? I mean, I honestly think it's kind of fun. I don't get mad over it. But I was like, oh, this is like becoming like, I've fallen too far behind, and I kind of just want to play Classic. And I knew that, everyone's patience has its limit, and I knew eventually I just wanted to level in peace. So this was also around the same time that I decided to stop streaming for a little while, to take a break. So what I did is I was like, okay, I stepped away from that character, Nixxiom, and I made a secret alt on a new server, rolled Horde, I'll tell you guys that. I didn't tell anybody about it, just my close friends, and that was it. And I leveled on that server, leveled casually, got to level 60, had a good time. I haven't gotten to raid or really like gear that character up at all. I was like, yeah, I did it. Okay, now back to work. So, but recently, I've been streaming more recently. I've come back and I've been leveling up a Night Elf Druid. You don't even know this. Oh my God. Yeah, so I activated a US Battle.net account, so I'm playing Classic WoW US now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I didn't
dude.
know that.
Why are we, dude? Why don't we like just go in game? Like sit in game one day, and like we could make like a WoW episode like the old days. We'll bring back the upright orc challenge, but it'll be the hunched orc challenge because
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
I like it. We'll bring it back on this channel. But that's pretty much it. I've had a lot of fun. Like I've loved Classic. I've loved my time playing it. Personally, me, I haven't had to deal with any of like the like wacko drama that like some people have had to deal with. Yeah. Some of like the crazy like streamer drama that happened while I was taking my Twitch break. And I feel sorry for a lot of the bigger streamers who kind of had their Classic WoW experience like ruined kind of by the fact that they're big streamers, but it's kind of not surprising. So I'm pretty thankful that I stepped away to like enjoy Classic and just take my break and play the game that I love. And that's my story. What's your story?
Yeah. So my story was I had a bunch of friends and we went on the one server and we just made a guild and we just kind of had a good time. We invited all our viewers, but we weren't like, I don't want to say we were like a streamer guild. Like it was just,
Yeah.
I guess it was, but it wasn't that type of guild that would like, run around like gank and everything or whatever. We were just kind of a chill streamer guild, just existing.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And
Nice.
so we've been raiding recently, actually.
Oh.
And so from the start of Classic WoW, I decided to play a Warlock because I never really played a Warlock. And I know Warlock's got free mounts at level 40. So I was like, hey, instead of having to save all my gold up to buy a mount, I'll just get a mount.
Yeah.
And I hit 40 and it was great. I got my mount for free. And the only downside is you got to summon it, but I don't really care. I'll gladly summon it for nothing. And I used to hate Warlocks back in the day. That was another thing. Like I really didn't like Warlocks. I was like, this class is boring. This is dumb. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. So I did that for Classic WoW. And now I love Warlocks. It's a fun class. And when you raid, you kind of just spam Shadow Bolt and put a curse on something. Yeah. That's about it. But it's honestly pretty chill to just do that and then see if you get any big crits and try to not pull threat.
Classic WoW is just a chill game in general.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about it. It really is just a nice chill type of game, whether you're leveling or, even Molten Core.
Yeah.
Even Molten Core. It's like, but we did just start Blackwing Lair, and that's been a little bit challenging, especially because our one, tank isn't there, so we need, another tank. But we got up to, we beat Broodlord, so we're at the dragons now. But, I think we're gonna get past it. But
Nice.
it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, like for me personally, I mean, I could talk for several hours about why I enjoy classic WoW so much, but I mean, that whole chill atmosphere that classic WoW has, I love that. And I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but like for me, classic WoW is just so immersive.
Mm.
It's very easy for me to like get lost in the world whenever I play it, and I I tend to get frustrated when I can't play it as much as I want to, because it's just a game that I genuinely really enjoy. Especially
Mm.
leveling this night elf druid on the U.S. servers. I think I'm level 16 now. I just started leveling him, um, and I don't get too much time a day to play. I'll try maybe like 30 minutes, an hour, whatever I can do. I haven't
Mm.
gotten to play today, for example, or the past 2 days, but whatever. Um, but I love like the role playing element of it. Like playing a warlock, for example. I mean, I enjoyed like the whole like sucking the soul out of people and collecting the soul shards and sacrificing like a Hillsbrad farmer's soul to summon like a void walker from beyond like the nether and stuff. I always
Mm.
found that so interesting. And if you're a lore nerd like me, all right. I mean, I used to be a big lore nerd. I'm not so much with modern WoW because I really don't care because I think the writing is garbage. But
Yeah.
just saying, I'm just saying. All right. But I enjoy all the storytelling in classic WoW, especially it's right after Warcraft 3, so there's a huge like stage set, and I just love the world. Um, but there's a lot of other things I love too. But I don't want to ramble for too long. What would you say is like your favorite thing about classic WoW that you've experienced so far, just in general?
Um, well, it's kind of like what you said, where I love the leveling. I love how slow pace it is, and you kind of feel like you're progressing as a character, and you're progressing through all these different zones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you start in the newbie area with literally nothing, and you're like, hey, go kill this shitty mob, go kill this other shitty mob, find my axe I lost, and you're like, all
Yeah,
right. And then you start slowly ramping that up, and you start seeing bigger and bigger worlds. You start discovering cities. You start discovering harder monsters and bigger bosses. And then you go to things like, the jungle of
yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
Feralus, and you go to the desert, and you go to all these
Oh yeah.
biodomes and environments. And then, you finally hit 60, and it feels like you're like, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready to start doing some crazy shit like raiding,
Mm-hmm.
and working with everybody to take down something. And I think that's what I love most about it is it feels like the progression is well tuned. And in current WoW, it feels like, current WoW is more like, oh, you are the hero. Here's more heroic things to go do. There's
Yeah.
not really a sense of progressing. Like there is, but not quite as dramatic.
There's like in regards to like progression in the game, there's so many like subtle things in classic WoW that contribute to the progression feeling that I think a lot of people don't think about. And I don't even think Blizzard thought about it back when they were making the game. As an example, when you start out, you are, let's say you're like an undead. You're in, you're in Tearsfall Glades and you're questing around and blah, 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 blah. And like you are going to be wearing like shitty gray armor, and it looks like
Mm.
crap. Like it just looks like scraps of cloth that you've just sort of found on like a zombie, or you found off of like a satyr in Teldrassil or something, like these little grays. And then suddenly you're finding like white pieces of armor, and you're like, ooh, wow, like a white pair of shoes, cool. And then suddenly, oh my god, a green. And I really enjoyed like the feeling of, it's like you said, you start out and you just feel like a nobody, but you feel like
Mm.
the whole world is right there. Like there's I'm playing this druid, and when I get to play him, it's like, yeah, I'm just like this shitty little novice druid, but I feel like I'm growing in power, and like one day I will be like a powerful like arc druid at level 60, wearing like my first tier piece of armor or something. And I think another thing in regards to progression that I love is I don't remember who did this, but shout out to you. whoever you are. But somebody gave me like a gold piece, no, 2 gold pieces when I was streaming, just to be nice. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, thanks, man. And so naturally, I went and blew that shit at the auction house. And it's like you get like a pair of pants that gives you like, oh, like +1 stamina and like +2 agility or something.
Mm.
But it like you really feel the impact. Like every level feels impactful. Every piece of gear feels impactful. And there's nothing in the world that is out of place, which I enjoy. Even I've ranted about this in previous videos, so I'll just keep this short for anybody that's ever heard this. Even like the meat vendor in Stormwind or like in Orgrimmar, like in the modern game, why the hell is there a meat vendor? Like it serves no purpose. It's just some NPC that sells meat. But like in Classic, like when I was leveling a hunter, like back on like the beta or like on a private server, like I would go to the meat vendor because I would have like a pet and he would need food and I wouldn't have any meat to feed him. So like the meat vendor became like my best friend. Like nothing is out of place. Everything has a point. And I really like that. That's my rant in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I mean, thinking about classic WoW, like the launch of it and everything, I had a lot of fun when it launched. I know a lot of people were like trying to power level to 60 or be like, oh, I'm gonna be the first streamer, or I'm gonna be world first, or I'm gonna do all this. Like, I didn't care. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna relive all this like 1 to 60 leveling, even though I did do it in the beta. I was doing it on a different character, and I stopped at 40 in the beta. One, because they capped it there.
Yeah.
But then I love the 40 to 50 zones, and then I love winter spring as well. And being able to like go do those again, it was just I just had a really good time doing that.
Yeah.
And it I don't know, it was just I didn't really feel the need to like even make an alt after that. Like I was gonna make an alt, and I was like, you know what? If I do make an alt, it's gonna be if they announce a Burning Crusade classic version, and I'm gonna make a druid so that I can play a druid in Burning Crusade.
Okay. Why a druid?
I just I played a druid in Wrath, and I really enjoyed it, and so I kind of want to play it in Burning Crusade because they get flight form, and I feel like they kind of help druids a lot in Burning Crusade versus Classic WoW, where they kind of didn't do that.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to fly around stealing people's herbs as they have to demount on their flying, and I'm just like,
hey man, don't hate the class, hate the player.
Yeah,
you know, I'm a good druid. I spam Wrath and I hit him with a Moonfire sometimes.
But speaking of like the launch and everything, my point was,
yeah,
I made that video. I think you saw it, about being nostalgic about nostalgia of classic WoW. So like I realized that I was nostalgic about the classic WoW launch. So I was nostalgic about a nostalgic launch of a nostalgic game.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like an Inception type of thing going on here. And so I don't know if you were like that, but even like waiting in the queue, like having everybody I know like waiting in the queue, wanting to get in, everybody wanted to play, like it was insane.
And from what I hear, I mean, there's still some queues on some servers like midday. Like my friend, he plays on a server and he's like, dude, I still get queues sometimes. I saw him posting about it on Twitter, like just like last week.
Oh,
like oh man, hold on, just had a just hiccuped in the head. You were talking about the launch, and there was something significant about the launch that I wanted to say. You were talking about nostalgia for classic WoW nostalgia. God, what was I gonna say? Oh, something good. I was all hyped. I was all excited. And I thought about my friend and his ugly face. And I was like, ugh. Damn it. I don't remember. I know I was going to ask you at some point what your favorite dungeon was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So answer that, and I'm gonna try to remember what I was going to say about the launch.
Well, my favorite dungeon would probably be Zul'Farrak still. I feel like that's an easy one to go to just because, again, I love all the level 40 zones, and that's like prime level 40. You get a lot of experience from it. There's a lot of quests for it, and it's just a fun dungeon. Like you get that one thing where you fight on the stairs,
Yeah.
unless it glitches out, and then you can fight Gazrila.
Hmm.
There's just it's like mummified trolls and shit. It's just a cool place to like hit up halfway through leveling.
Did my favorite dungeon, like hands down, well, I have two.
All right.
And they both hold hands for top spot. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna have to pick this one.
Mm.
I really love Shadowfang Keep.
Huh.
And the reason why is because Shadowfang Keep is like a textbook Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Like haunted castle up on the hill above haunted village, and you and a bunch of heroes are like going in to like break like the mad archmage's curse on like the forest and the land. And you're like going through the dungeons and through like the kitchens and the barracks, or the armory I should say, and up the towers and blah blah blah. And then eventually you reach like Arugal's tower at the end and you defeat him. It's like a textbook D&D adventure. And I've always loved that. But the other one I would say, this dungeon gets a lot of hate. And I understand why, but I love it. I just love the atmosphere, and it's Scholomance.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say Nomergon.
No, oh dude, fuck Nomergon. Like I hate Nomergon. I don't even remember the last time I've done Nomergon. It was like in like modern WoW, like through like LFG or something. And every time I get it, I'm like, oh god, here we go again. Like, oh, it's disgusting.
What was your least favorite dungeon?
My least probably Nomergon. But if not no, if not Nomergon, um, let's see. Let me go through the dungeons in my head. I admit I really don't like Zul'Farrak.
What?
Not a big fan. I don't like trolls. I think they're dumb. Just like sand Jamaicans or whatever, like with the voodoo, like dancing around and mummies and shit. Like I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like,
All
that's
right,
not.
okay, I see.
Yeah, I
It's all
say,
right if your opinion's wrong, but
yeah. So, but no. The first thing I thought of, I really hate to say this, but if there is one dungeon that I get so frustrated with, like I love it when I go into it. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. But if it turns into a slugfest, it's like, oh, I hate this dungeon. It's Wailing Caverns.
oh yeah, Wailing Caverns.
It takes forever, especially if people don't know where to go. They're like, "Ugh." Like, and I mean, most
Yeah.
people don't, so like whatever. But oh my god, dude, that dungeon can drag. Like you need like a whole day for like some people with that thing.
Yeah, like when we did it, how long was it? I think we did in like a few hours, but obviously, we all know each other and we've played and everything in our group we did. But even by the time we were done with it, when you walk out of Wailing Caverns and you like see the daylight of the zone again, you're like, oh my god.
Yes,
You just
yeah,
feel like you're in a cave for this
yeah.
that long and you got out and you're like, oh, like
L- like Wailing Caverns starts to feel claustrophobic after a while,
mm,
which I kind of like. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, like I guess that's a good way to put it. Like if you spend too much time in there, you feel genuinely like trapped in a cave, and then you
Mm,
have to like make your way out.
yeah.
So
It's
cool
so it's
dungeon.
actually it does its job
Yeah,
very well, but it can just be annoying to deal
yeah.
with.
I mean, if you get like a
Uh,
fast group, it's great. I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, like, everyone knows what they're
Uh,
doing. It's great.
I would say my least favorite dungeon is either Blackrock Depths,
Yeah,
just because, oh god, it takes so long, and I just
yeah,
it's like Wailing Caverns on steroids, dude. It's like I
yeah,
get
yeah,
it's a cool place, like you got the tavern in there, and like you're in a dwarf city and all that, but like it's I just I get burned out in there.
hmm
And then the Temple of Atal Hakar is it's another one that just
hmm
it just drags. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Just another statue, another thing.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, like I don't know.
also not a fan of Uldaman.
Oh yeah, Uldaman's like it's okay.
Yeah.
Not my favorite either.
Yeah, I'm not like I've never been a big fan of like Titan stuff in WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just like these weird Greek gods that like were on Azeroth at some point doing some whatever, and then they like we learn about them through Indiana Jones references.
Yeah.
I've never really been a big fan of that. So when Blizzard and like modern WoW started really exploring Titan lore, I was like, ugh, like I don't
Yeah.
care. I just want to fight demons and like undead. Like the Lich King is so cool. Like I don't need some weird ass like space fairies or whatever. Like no.
Yeah. I've never really cared about Titan lore that much either, come to think of it. Like I think the old gods are cool, but like I don't like the way they go about
Yeah.
like showing off the old gods, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Man, I'm still trying to remember what I was gonna say earlier, but it's something real good. Like it was like, man, I was like pumped for like half a second. I was like, yeah, dude, like man, my nipples were getting hard. I was so pumped. I love it.
All right, how
But
about what's your favorite classic WoW zone?
um my favorite zones. Uh the first one that immediately comes to mind is this is kind of normy, but it's Tirisfal Glades.
Hmm.
And the reason why is because, all right, so quick backstory. When I started playing WoW back in the day, I had never played a Warcraft game before. And so I didn't understand anything about this game. Like, there were just like undeads walking around and zombies and demons and shit. Like, I didn't understand. It was just this. I was just blown away that like such a thing existed, an MMORPG, this magical, mystical world inside of my computer. Like that was whoa. Because before then, I was just playing like shooter games on my Xbox and playing my GameCube or whatever. Like and
Hmm.
MMOs. It was so mind blowing to me. But eventually, I learned that there were these games called Warcraft 1 through 3 that came out before World of Warcraft, and it like established the world. And one of my friends that I was playing with at the time was like, "Oh yeah, like you got to play Warcraft 3. You got to play Warcraft 3. It's such a good game." So I went to Walmart one day and I begged my mommy to like buy me Warcraft 3 with the Frozen Throne, like whatever expansion,
Hmm.
and I played it. And I loved it. And I cheated my way through the entire thing because I didn't actually care. Because I was like, I don't care about this dumb game. I just want to like know the story. But I
Hmm.
loved the game and I loved the story, and like the Lich King was like, oh dude, I love the Lich King, so cool, so badass. And now everything made sense, like the demons and the Scourge and the Plague Lands. And then when I went to Tirisfal Glades, I just had this moment where I was like, dude, like this is where it happened. Like this is it. Like Arthas was here. And it was just I mean, going back to the very first point, like just it's such an immersive thing. Like I was in the world of
Hmm.
Warcraft, you know? Like, so Tirisfal Glades is one of my favorites. If not like a starting zone, because I think a lot of people have a lot of fond memories of starting zones.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
I really, let me just name like the first like three that come to my mind.
All right.
Stone Talon Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I love Stone Talon Mountains because it's the only zone where I feel like I'm super far away from civilization. I like that.
Huh. Really?
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Interesting.
Ashenvale. When I first thought about playing WoW, when it was like introduced to me by some of my family, or my relatives, I should say, not my like parents or anything. I like imagined like WoW had these like massive forests that you could get lost in for like days and like weeks, and like you could like find players like in like wildernesses like way out in the middle of nowhere or something. I didn't know. So unfortunately, that's not what WoW is. But Ashenvale is kind of the closest thing we got to like some big epic forest.
Hmm.
And I hate the fact that Blizzard tore it down with Cataclysm. Like they burned half of it, but whatever. And number 3, the third zone that comes to mind, I'm gonna give it to going through all the zones in my head. I want to say one of the Plague Land zones, but I'm not going to say that because same reason as Tears Fall Glades. So I'm going to go with. It's hard to choose. Dark Shore.
Oh,
Dark Shore has so much ambience to it. Like, dude, take Dark Shore, the color palette of it, and like if Blizzard could just go in there and spawn some like fog, like dot objects or something, like through the trees and everything, it's just like a fog like drifting on the shorelines and stuff. Oh, it'd be perfect. But like
it's interesting.
I can imagine the fog, even though it's not even there.
It's interesting about your choices.
That absolutely none of them are your choices.
Well, yes. And
yes, of course.
they all are connected.
Okay, what do you mean? Well, or
Like
well, yeah,
Stonevale
like
and Ashenvale and Darkshore, like all the zones are connected.
yeah. I love
So it's
Kalimdor.
like, you love that northwestern part of Kalimdor.
I do. I also love the Eastern Kingdoms too. Like I'm a big. Oh, I didn't even think about Duskwood. Man, I'm stupid. All right, fuck Darkshore. We're gonna throw Duskwood in there because, dude, Duskwood. Let me tell you guys something. I played the Horde for the longest time, right? And I never knew about what is under Ravenhill Cemetery. Like I never knew about that. And then finally, I played an Alliance weenie one day, and as I was leveling, I get this quest, and it's like, dude, like, gotta go under the graveyard in Ravenhill Cemetery. What? And then I found like that little like path that goes under the graveyard, and there's that secret path in like the back corner of that one back room, and it's like a tunnel, and then you're like, what? It's like a dirt tunnel, and you go through it, and then you're in a laboratory, and I'm like, what? This was always here? Like it blew my mind. I loved
Not
it.
gonna lie, I didn't even know that.
What?
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
No.
Yeah, I always play Horde.
No, surely you knew about the secret laboratory under Ravenhill Cemetery.
No.
Krendor, you've been playing this game for like 16 years.
Yeah, but I play Horde, and then the only alliance I played, they're usually dwarves and gnomes, and I didn't go to Dustshore. Or
Dust Shore.
Dustshore.
You have never found the secret laboratory under Ravenhill Cemetery.
No.
You are not shitting me.
No.
Oh my god, dude. What are you doing? Like fly down there on Modern WoW and go in like the crypt that's been like dug up that's surrounded by the ghouls. Go in there and explore the rooms, and in this one back room you will find a tunnel. It's a unique tunnel model. There's nowhere else in the game that has it. And like you go into this like dirt tunnel, and there's like tree roots and shit like coming through the ceiling and through the floor and on the walls. And then you'll like go into like this secret Scourge laboratory, and it's massive, and it's under the cemetery.
Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I never even knew that.
All right, well, don't do it. Maybe next like Two Nerds podcast, I will take you there and we'll record it, and then we can record the episode there. That'd be kind of cool, right?
That would be kind of cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah. So save your adventure for like next week.
All right.
Yeah.
Keep a tab open just to remember.
Yeah. Do that.
Okay.
Right. Neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
Cool. Well,
now, have you abused your streamer benefits at all during your time playing Classic WoW? Don't lie.
No. I haven't.
Krendor. Don't lie to people.
I told everybody I don't want help, and they didn't help me. The only things I guess I'd get help with was I'd be like, hey, I need people for a dungeon, and so I can make dungeon groups really easily, but that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't take gold. I didn't take gear. And in fact, the only things people would send me were things to disenchant, and they were guild members. So I'd be like, send me the things you want disenchanted, and that's what I would do. But so I guess that's the primary thing I took benefits from was disenchanting shit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when I leveled to 60, I mean, it was secret character. No one knew who I was. I made sure of that because I didn't want. The thing is, like, when I was streaming Classic, I'd log in, immediately people were like, hey, Nixxiom, what's up? I had to, like, make a separate, like, window for whispers because people would be bothering me. And I'd go into the Barrens and be, like, leveling. It's like, Nixxiom is at these coordinates. Then, like, some Jabberwocky would show up and be like, well, hey there, and, like, wave at me and, like, try to help me with all my mobs. And I'm like, I just want to play in peace, So I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, that's why everybody would come to the stream. They'd be like, "Hey, Crendor, are you on this server?" And or the big stream server. I'm like, "No," and then they'd leave. I'd be like, "Okay," or they'd be like, "Hey, watch out, Gang Squad's coming through here," and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm not on that server," and then they're like, "Oh," and then they just leave again.
yeah, like I just wanted the peace and the tranquility. And so with that character, yeah, I mean, obviously, I kept myself anonymous. It was weird though, because sometimes I'd like get into guilds and people would talk about me. Did you guys see the new Nixxiom video? What an idiot! Like, and I'm like, yeah, what an idiot! Like, typing in the chat,
That guy.
what a stupid idiot! That Crendor guy, he's dumb too. LOL. Like,
I hate them both.
I hate them both. Hate all of them. These streamers. But my current character, this like this Night Elf Druid, guys, dude. His name's Ajvin. He's on Mirage Raceway. Send me all your gold. Send me everything. Like I'm using the streamer benefits times 1,000. Like I just want to get him to level 60 and then just like dick around with the US community of classic WoW.
Yeah, my guy's actually decently geared. I have like 3 pieces of Warlock tier 1. I have my tier 2 helm. I've got a couple other epics. I got the epic dagger off Golmag. Or not Golmag. Yeah, actually I think it is Golmag. Whatever the big golem rock dude is at the end of Molten Core before
Isn't that
it drops the mage blade.
I don't remember. Okay.
Golmag. I think it is Golmag, isn't it?
Golmag?
Am I crazy?
I don't know.
Am I crazy? It is Golmag. Okay,
Golmag.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
Good.
you got him.
I was right.
I'm looking at the images right now.
So yeah, I got a dagger off him. So I mean, I'm like decently geared. I almost got my tier 2 belt from Blackwing Lair, but we had another warlock that got it because he's like he plays a lot more than I do, and he does more damage. So I was like, yeah, just give him the belts, whatever. But we only had like 3 warlocks in the raid. So I mean, if we get like some powerful warlock drops, we're gonna be like splitting that up. I'm gonna be loaded.
Yeah, dude. Have you like what would you say in your time playing Classic? What would you say is like been your favorite memory so far? And also, what do you think about the current state of Classic, and where do you think it's gonna go from here?
Let's see. My favorite moment, honestly, it was probably when everybody was playing at the start. I love when all my friends, even people that aren't even into WoW, are playing the same game, and the fact that everybody was playing Classic WoW, it almost like it felt like everybody was invited over to my house or something. Then we're just like, "Ooh, we're having a party! Yay! Look at this! This is like I don't know." Because obviously we know a lot about Classic WoW, so it felt like it's Classic WoW feels like home essentially.
Yeah, it does.
And so I think having a lot of people experience that for the first time, like I knew people were going to quit, a lot of people, but seeing them experience it for the first time was pretty cool. And then getting my mount is always fun, just because, especially as a warlock, even though it's a free mount, right? You go as a warlock without any movement bonuses. And I know there's going to be priests that are like, I didn't get my... All right, I get it. I also leveled a priest back in the day. But
yeah, when
you go without movement speed bonuses for 40 levels, getting that mount is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the best thing ever. So that would definitely be one thing. And then kind of just re-experiencing all those old zones again that I loved. I would say probably questing in, let's see, where would it be?
Yeah, you didn't say your 3 favorite zones.
Yeah, I didn't say my favorite zones.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Well, they'd probably be my favorite memories as well, because I loved revisiting those zones. So I'd say one is Arathi Highlands. I love Arathi Highlands. Winter Spring is another one. So Arathi. All right, I won't choose Winter Spring. Arathi Highlands.
Okay.
I love how open it is. It's all green. There's like rivers and I don't know. It's a really relaxing zone. Then I'd say Ungoro. I didn't even think I'd like
Ungoro.
All right, here's the reason. Okay. I didn't even, whenever I thought of Ungoro, I'd be like, it's whatever. And now I went back and leveled there and I was like, dude, I love all the quests here. Okay. I love the zone. It's like you're in the jungle. There's like dinosaurs walking around. There's like tar pits. There's the crazy crystals. I don't know. It's just I had a great time. There was never a point in Ngoro where I was like, man, I don't like this place. I was just like, this is a fun zone. And then I finished questing there and I was like, is that all the quests? And everyone's like, yeah. And I was like, I like
Oh,
this place. um,
okay. One more.
and then, uh, man, uh, I don't know which one I'd put at number 3. I'd probably put.
Azara.
I was gonna say Ajara, but I think I'd
No.
say Feralus.
Feralus. Okay. My
Yeah, I like
Feralus.
Feralus. Other runner-ups are Hinterlands, Tanaris, Ajara, and Winter Spring.
Hmm.
Winter Spring, like you said earlier, where you just feel like you're in Stone Town, it feels like you're just away from civilization or whatever. That's how I feel in Winter Spring. But I think it's just because it's cold and snowy there as well. So it
Yeah.
kind of gives that kind of cold, quiet vibe.
Hmm.
But I really love Winter Spring, especially when you go through the tunnel and then you emerge out of it, and
Yeah.
then you're like, whoa, Winter Spring. So that's pretty neat. And then Feralus, I've always loved. Hinterlands is another one I really enjoy. Feralus and Hinterlands are pretty close.
Hmm.
I just, if you couldn't tell, I love environments that have like dynamic weather, like
Yeah.
Tanaris in the desert, Winter Spring with snow, and then like Hinterlands and Feralus and Arathi Highlands with rain, and
Yeah.
they're very green and everything. Like I noticed those are my favorite zones when they have like snow, rain, or uh like sandstorms and stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna say like probably one of my favorite things about Feralus, because Feralus is probably up there as one of my
Mm.
more favorite zones too. I love the fact that Blizzard has the 2 islands off the coast of Feralus, and one of them is
Mm-hmm.
the Night Elf like city.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember doing like World PvP back in the day, and it would be like the Horde players would be like storming the beaches and like attacking the town. That was always cool. And then there's like the island just south of that one. It doesn't exist in the modern game anymore because it's sunk into the ocean. But it's just like this island, like just full of mobs. And I always like I remember when I first went there as a kid. Um, it's a bunch of elite mobs, isn't it? It's been a while. I didn't actually like go there anytime recent, or I haven't gone there in a while since Classic came out, or I haven't gone there at all actually.
Mm.
But yeah, like I remember like when I was a kid, like I remember like going there because I was like, dude, what's on this island? And it was just like nothing. It was just like just this jungle island full of mobs. It's kind of like when I went to what is it like Alcatraz Isle the first time, or what's it called? It's off the
Uh,
coast of the Barrens.
yeah. God, yeah, I don't remember what that's called. Like the little prison island or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, it's like Alcatraz,
Yeah,
whatever.
I think so.
Like
It's referencing that pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah. Yeah, like that was like that. I was like, dude, what is this? And then you could find like King Varian like down in the crypts or the
Mm-hmm.
prison. I was like, what, dude? There he is. There's the king. I know that guy. Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
So, what, like, wait, do we talked about our least favorite zones, correct?
We did talk about our least favorite zone. Oh my god, I forgot. And the
Okay.
Mulgore is another one.
Mulgore's
Even though that's
good.
a starting zone, I love how peaceful Mulgore is, and it's like probably my favorite starting zone just because like you're the only one there. Like I said, it's very peaceful. It's open
Hmm.
plains. You're running around. You're doing really basic stuff like get a jug of water, go
Yeah.
out hunting.
I need some water.
Uh, yeah, and you're just like a Taran being like I'm a Taran. Like here we go.
Yeah, yeah. I
I really like that.
I think Blizzard nailed like all the starting zones in
Yeah, I think
Classic.
so too.
Like they're all
Even
unique. They all introduce you to the world. Like they all like have something special about them. I mean, dude, like I know you like ASMR.
mhm.
So there is, in my opinion, there is no better like ASMR-ish expert or immersive experience in WoW than questing in Dunmorrow, and then a
Yeah, I love
blizzard
Dunmore.
happens, and then you go into like the Karanos brewery.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
my god, that's great. Yeah, and you just hear the
yeah, and
like
you like hear the
outside,
fire and stuff.
and inside you hear the clanks of the inn and the tavern and the fire.
Dude, that's the best.
That is great.
Dude,
In
wow.
fact, that also adds up to my thing: Mulgore green, rainy, and then Dunmorose snowy. It's all adding together to what I like that I mentioned earlier.
It's just the world, Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I just love the world in general. Like Blizzard did such a good job at crafting it. I mean, earlier I talked about like nothing is out of place. I'm sure you can find something, but like
yeah.
nothing feels out of place. Everything feels like it was treated with a lot of love. It's truly like a D&D session with your friends, but like online. Um, the progression of it all, like seeing all the new zones, getting the new gear, talent points. I mean, I love it. The only thing I don't love is the fact I still don't remember what I was going to say earlier. God damn it. Something about the launch. I had a great launch. All right. It was amazing. We streamed it. I dressed up as an undead, like the undead that I was playing as, an undead mage. There were hundreds of people. Like, the server was crashing. There was lag. Like, the queues were massive. Like, we did like these giant world PvP battles where like the Horde would invade Westfall, and it was hundreds of players. Like, we were on the front page of Reddit. Like, just these. I made a video about it. It was called like I don't even remember what it was called. It's like Nixxiom Classic World PvP. You'll find it. It's like the Battle of Westfall. That's what it's called. Like we were like literally creating like role play stories for like our world PvP events. Like, yes, this battle, like the battle of whatever, like this happened. These many casualties occurred, and then this battle. Like, I mean, we were like really into it. It was awesome. So. Where do you think Classic WoW's going from here?
I really hope that, like I said earlier, it goes into Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
I think, like, I wouldn't mind if they made more content for Classic WoW, but I would also love if they did Burning Crusade, just because I had so much fun with actual Classic WoW and playing it that having Burning Crusade to play as well and go back and nostalgia about that. 'Cause, I mean, it's pretty much just as old when you think about it.
Oh yeah.
So I'd love to do all that again.
Dude, then Wrath.
Yeah, and then Wrath, and then Cataclysm.
Yeah, it's time to quit.
Yeah, oh my god, it's stop
like,
right there.
No, it's Cataclysm. All right, it's time to quit. It's time to unsubscribe.
Yeah. I'd love to do Burning Crusade too, because I didn't really raid that much in Burning Crusade. I did Karazhan, and I did like part of Gruul's Lair. I did like the first Gruul's Lair thing, but like I never really raided in Burning Crusade. Plus, there'll be arenas in Burning Crusade. I forgot about that.
Dude, I
Make
could
an
like
arena
roll on
team.
your team or your server.
Yeah.
So we can make an arena team.
Yeah. We'll be not great, but better than a lot of people.
It'll be a Two Nerds podcast episode. It'll be like us just doing arenas.
Yeah.
To be awesome.
It's kind of funny because I was just thinking how back when we were talking about what we're gonna play in Classic WoW, I kept being like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rogue, and then I ended up being a warlock.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, and then I'll probably play a druid. So it's like, you never really know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, my first character was a mage. Then I leveled a rogue all the way up to 60, which is what I originally said I was gonna do. And now I'm playing a druid.
Huh.
So. Yeah, I made the mage because my first character ever in WoW was a mage, back on Smolderthorn US back in the day, and like I really enjoy mages in Classic, but along with everything I talked about at the beginning of this episode, it was also kind of like I've kind of done this already, like, and I kind of wanted to do something different, and the rogue is like I have never leveled a rogue to max level before in any version of WoW, because I just have never cared about playing as a rogue. But I really genuinely enjoyed playing a rogue. Like, I enjoyed the class quests. I enjoyed unlocking poisons. I had to get my friends to help me in some cases because there was one quest. I remember like, oh my gosh, there's this one rogue quest in the Barrens where you have to like climb the tower. And, like, there's, like, all the elite mobs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, like, each of them... I didn't know this, but, like, each of them are, like, weak to, like, a certain rogue ability. So, like, if you use, like, this ability on the mob, it'll make 98% of their health disappear. Even though, they're super elite. Like, and if you use this ability on the... Yeah, like, I had to look it up online. So I was like, dude, this is impossible. And And then like it was only after my friend helped me did I look it up, and I was like, "What? Cool. How was you supposed to know that?" Like, so yeah, like, but yeah, like the whole like brewing your poisons, like, I was being in the Undercity, like making my point, like, oh, I loved it. It was so cool. Dude, I could like geek out about like the immersive quality of like Classic for like so long, especially playing a Forsaken rogue and then like going to Scarlet Monastery and like getting my revenge on those filthy humans.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember I wanted to play a rogue, but then what convinced me to play a warlock was I played a warlock in the Alterac Valley like beta
Yeah, you
thing
told
they
me
did.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, dude, this is kind of fun. And then I was like, and then I'm gonna get a free mount. And I was like, you know what, screw it, we'll do that. And then, before you know it, I'm summoning people to Blackwing Lair, being like, God damn it, I need more soul shards.
God damn it. Yeah, dude. Well, let's say you get the other warlock to start summoning instead.
Well, we were like dual summoning.
Oh, okay.
But and then the other one was like out of soul shards, so he had to go farm more, and we were just like, come on, let's go. And we were just power farm. But now a lot of the alliance on our server are gone, so it's like it's pretty much a PvE server at this point.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine with me. Honestly, I don't mind PvE servers. I played actual vanilla WoW on a PvE server.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something chill about it. Like most of the time with world PvP, like it's just some like douche noodle person that comes up and they're just like and then they go away.
Douche noodle. Yeah.
So I just I probably would prefer to be on a PvE server, but I did PvP because all my friends did.
Okay. Yeah, I think I mean, obviously Classic WoW, it's been out for a hot minute. It had a massive boom in the beginning. A lot of people have stepped away, even like some major streamers have stepped away and quit because of drama and because of this, that, and whatever. Ganking, whatever. I hate the fact the experience kind of got ruined for them. But the Classic WoW population, if like recent news is to be believed, is still very strong and it's very healthy. And I think if they go into BC, it's only going to make that bigger. And honestly, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if like the maybe not the Classic WoW servers, but if they turn them into BC servers, BC realms / Wrath realms were like way bigger than even the modern game. So I don't even know how many people are playing the modern game right now. Maybe the Classic WoW game is already bigger than that. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't got the numbers.
It's either way. I think retail WoW even benefits a lot as like a symbiotic relationship from Classic WoW.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, so it's like they don't really lose anything by having it. They just gain more people.
Yeah, Blizzard gets their $15 a month.
Yeah.
I think just one thing I'm real excited about, if they do decide to go down the progressive legacy route, which is something I've always wanted them to do. I can't wait to play Wrath. I can't wait to go to Northrend again, like to fight the Lich King.
Wrath is probably my favorite expansion.
Oh yeah, it had such a good theme to it. Like Classic WoW's like immersive ambience and stuff. Yeah, like multiply that by like 5. That's Wrath.
Yeah,
like Howling Fjord, Borean Tundra, the Dragonblight. Love it.
And
then the best part. This is what I'm most excited for specifically. Wrath is great, but specifically, can't wait to play as those broken as hell Death Knights. Can't wait to tank like literally 60 Hellfire boars as like a level 58 DK, like in blood spec or any spec really. It's gonna be amazing.
And I hope if they do that, they do make it so you have to like, there's no boosting. You have to legit level your Classic WoW guy up, and then you level through Burning Crusade, and then you get to Wrath.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So well, man, like I know that you have to go stream, and we're about to hit our hour mark. So I think we'll probably have to call it here. But before we go, just want to give a real big shout out to our sponsor for this week's episode. Just love these guys. Us.
Yeah.
Absolutely glorious. Like there's this website called krensloth.com. Dude, you can get like pants and shit and like mugs and shit with like sloths on them. Dude, incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then if you're like, dude, man, I'm not a sloth kind of guy. I'm like a Death Knight. I'm like a bad at every game kind of guy. I'm like a whatever the hell's on my store kind of guy. Like, dude, Nixxiom Corner Store. It's all linked down below in the description. And guys, as always, I'm going to say this in every episode. If you want to support the podcast, that's how you do it. You want to see more episodes, so support us. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I love Classic. That's my conclusion. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time, and even replaying it, there is no rose-tinted goggles for me or just nostalgia. It's like, no, I genuinely love this game, and I still do even to this day. That's my conclusion. I'm done.
I even went into it going in for like being like, I'm probably just gonna have some rose-tinted glasses, and I did for a bit. But honestly, just as a game, it holds up really well over nearly 20 years.
Yeah, dude.
So, I'm glad it's back. I'm glad I got to play it all over again, and I'm still playing it and raiding. And so I guess that's it. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yep. You want to say any like closing words to our friends? Like you want to tell them that they look good today? Like,
you're looking good today. You're looking even better when you smash that subscribe button and like button. You're looking even better.
That was a nice transition. Wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, that was smooth. That was good. You must be a YouTuber.
That's got to be true.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, subscribe to my other YouTube channels, Nixxiom's other YouTube channels as well.
That's right.
And
that's pretty much it. All right. Last word, Crendor, whenever you're ready.
See you.